Welcome to After School Hub. Every single day, we'll be bringing you all the activities you love right into your living room. So, let's get cracking.
Hi, After School Hub. When I go home from school, I love to practice gymnastics. After school on Fridays, we go to Honey. This is what I like to do after my school. When I come home and on the weekends, I like driving around the I'm Ali, and after school, I like to do my homework so then I can go and bead. Today, I'm making a bracelet for my cousin so I can post it to her. After that, I like to go and play the ukulele. I learned it during lockdown. It's really fun to play. Today, I'm going to be showing you what I do after school with my heelys.
Dave Accorda, Conastashiv. Hope you're keeping well. I'm very excited today because, as you can probably guess, I'm going on my holidays. I've got my case, my camera, my interesting tourist getup, my guidebook, and my hat. Now, the best thing about this holiday is that I don't even have to go to the airport for a flight because we're, and you're coming with me, going on a virtual holiday. That's right. I thought we'd take a trip around Europe to see some of the spots that tourists flock to every year. Plus, it'll give me a chance to practice my languages. Now, for those of you that need reminding, Europe is located right here and is made up of lots of different countries. Look, there's Ireland. That's where we are. Now, the best part of doing a virtual tour is that I don't even know where we're going to end up. So let's go. Where are we? Let me check the guide here. Okay, so it says, if you're lost in a foreign country, see if you can see a landmark. Whoa! Look at that, it's the Eiffel Tower. So that means that we must be in Paris, France. I love Paris. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower is 1,050 feet tall and it's made out of iron? It gets lit up every night, so you can see it all over Paris with 20,000 lights. Whoa. Now, before we head somewhere else in Europe, let me practice my French. Excusez-moi, monsieur, or excusez-moi, madame. That means, excuse me, sir, or madam. Où est la gare, s'il vous plaît? Où est means where is, la gare, the train station, and s'il vous plaît means please. Hey, look at us, we're speaking French. Okay, time to get going. That's the River Seine. It flows right through the middle of Paris. Woo! Salut! Okay, where to next? Let's try somewhere closer to home. Now where are we? We really don't have time to be wasting if we're going to see everything today. And speaking of which, do you know what time it is? I forgot my watch. Oh, there's a clock right there. Whoa! It's Big Ben! That means that we must be in London, England. No wonder I could read all the signs here. They're all in English. Did you know that Big Ben isn't actually called Big Ben? It's called the Elizabeth Tower. The Elizabeth Tower is 315 feet high. Big Ben is actually the name of the biggest bell that chimes in the tower. Big Ben, the bell, is over 7 foot tall. And the clock was built in 1843. In addition to Big Ben, there are 4 other smaller bells that chime every day on the hour. They play this melody. Is that the time? We better go. But before we do, let me practice my English. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, great, let's go. Okay, let's go somewhere in Southern Europe now. Feels a lot warmer here. According to the guide, we went south after England and ended up in Italy? Look! It's an amphitheatre. Well, actually, it looks pretty big, so maybe it's a Colosseum. I've always wanted to see one of those. So we must be in Rome, in Italy. Now, this is probably our oldest landmark today. It was built all the way back in 70 AD. Amphitheatres and bigger colosseums were built for sporting events, for the general public to go to. But the sports that were played back then in ancient Rome weren't really like anything we see on television now. For example, sometimes when we're watching football, we're thrilled to see the ball flying through the air. Well, back in ancient Rome, in the Colosseum, the ball flying through the air may have been a human head. Ooh. You see, the events were usually fighting or chariot racing, and usually it didn't end well for the people involved. They even introduced wild animals into the Colosseum to add to the danger for the gladiators who were fighting. Now, obviously there are no more gladiator fights in Rome. Let me practice my Italian. Buongiorno. Come stai? That means, hello, how are you? Let's move on before they sign me up for a fight. Look, it's St. Peter's Basilica. It's a big church in the Vatican in Rome. Ciao. Phew, busy holiday. Time to head back home. Home sweet home. That was loads of fun. But here we are back in Ireland, or more specifically, O'Connell Street in Dublin. Ballyaha, the capital city. Look, there's the spire. It was built in 2003 and it's 121 metres high. You know, it's funny. No matter how long I've been away for, it's always really, really nice to come home. Slán ga chéine, gur míle maithagh. That means bye everyone and thank you very much. But you knew that already. Slán.
Hey there everybody, Kira here again, and today I'm coming to you with a really cool trick on how to learn really long and kind of boring lists off by heart. So these are called mnemonics, and basically all they are is if you take the first letter of each word that you have to learn and turn that into a different word that you will remember more easily. It sounds kind of complicated right now, but trust me, it's not. It's really easy. An example I'm going to give you is when we need to learn the planets off by heart. So the planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So those letters that we have to learn are M, V, E, M, J, S, U, and N. So if we turn those into words that we will remember more easily, or a little rhyme even that we will remember, something like my very epic mother just served us nachos. It's kind of silly, I know, but honestly it will be more easy for you to remember in a test or in school in general. And here's another one. How do you remember all of the colours of the rainbow? With another little mnemonic rhyme, of course. So the colours of the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So So those letters we need to know are R, O, Y, G, B, I and V. Well, Mum and Dad might know this one. Richard of York gave battle in vain. But I prefer when they are silly, fun rhymes. Well, it helps me remember them quicker. Something like, rinse out your granny's boots in vinegar. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Or maybe something like, rabbits only yawn great because it vanishes. Honestly, the more silly these rhymes are, the more likely you are to remember them. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this hack, and I'll see you all in the next Hub Hacks video. Bye everybody.
Hello Homeschool Hub, my name is Eli, my age is 6. I love all of these books because they're really funny. And I love Dog Maggie because it has comics, strips. I love Flat Stanley even though it has no colours. There's a book that I haven't stopped reading yet. It's called Poop the Wash the Rescue, and it's by an Irish person called Shane Hegarty. And the Roald thing I'm reading right now is James and the Giant Peach. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye!
That's it for now, but don't go anywhere. We have lots more fun and activities after the break.
What would you put if you were sending a message out to school?
Welcome back to After School Hub. Don't forget to send us all your videos and photos. Go to rte.ie/learn.
When I come home from school, I like to go to playing basketball if the day is nice. I train with Rebel Wheelers Basketball Club in Cork, and we train every Tuesday night before COVID. And before COVID as well, we used to go all around the country doing basketball blitzes against other teams. And I really enjoy it.
See that drive again there from Abby. The way she just steps past Rafferty and through.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another session of Exercise with Emer. Today, I'm wearing a t-shirt that I wore when I was coaching the women's under-20s Irish international team in 2016. I was the head coach and I brought 14 players away to the European Championships in Montenegro. Montenegro is bordered by Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, Kosovo, Albania, and the Adriatic Sea. And it took us 2 plane rides to get there. Woo! Okay, that's enough talking. Let's get down to business. All you need today for our lesson is a ball, and it can be any type of ball at all as long as it bounces. Okay? And then of course, we can't forget our good old faithful socks. We will be using the socks as our cones, and we're gonna dribble in and out of them. Okay, so when I say go, I want you to go and grab your equipment for today. Ready, steady, bananas! I know I got some of you. I know I did. Okay, let's try it again. Ready, steady, go! Okay, so today we're gonna be showing you some ball handling skills, and I pretty much did these every day when I was playing in the US. These drills are so important to improve your ball control and your bouncing. So to get warmed up and get familiar with the ball, I think we'll do some around the worlds and then some finger touches. Okay, so for the around the world, we're gonna go around our neck, then we're gonna go around our waist, and then we're gonna go down by our feet, our ankles, and then we're gonna come back up again. All right, ready? Let's go. Ooh, yes. All right, try and get like a steady beat going. Don't worry if you drop it. Just keep going, not a big deal. All right, so now I want us to kind of move into our finger touches. And I have to tell you, it's really important to get really familiar with the ball. When I was younger and really just learning, I would just be holding my ball all the time and just doing things like this so that my fingers and my hands got really familiar with it. And yes, I may have slept with my ball once or twice, but I loved the game, okay? So I won't make fun of you if you like to sleep with your ball too. All right, so we're gonna do some finger touches. So I just want you to kind of have your base set, and then you're just gonna go from finger to finger. So it's kind of from the pads of your fingers. So not your fingertips, but the pads of your finger. And you wanna get a nice little beat going, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I really like doing this kind of stuff to music, because when the beat comes on, you can do it to the beat, and when the music gets faster, hot potato, you gotta go faster. You can bring it down low. See, my feet are moving too, I can't help it. I'm getting giddy, and I'm ready to play some ball. Nice. Okay, so I think we should move on to learn about dribbling correctly. So the ball should always be by your side, or as I like to say, in your pocket. You know, your pocket. Ball by your side, make sure you keep it there, right? Because this way, you can protect the ball from the defense. And when you're dribbling, you want the ball to be at waist height, and you don't want it to get any higher. So I'm here, and I'm gonna dribble in my pocket. Just like our finger touches, we're gonna be using the pads of our finger, and you're gonna kind of cup your hand around the ball. So you don't want to slap it. So if you're hearing a sound, like a slapping sound, you know you're not doing it right, okay? And also, like, why are you slapping the ball? What did it ever do to you? All right, now let's try with our left. In our pocket, at waist height. And so you don't want it up here. It's very hard to control the ball up here, but when it's just right about here, waist level, it makes it a lot easier. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to work on our crossover. So basically, you're going to be transferring the ball from one hand to the other. So it's kind of like a beat. You know, I love my beats. We're going to go 1, 2, crossover, 1, 2, crossover, 1, 2, crossover, 1, 2, crossover. All right, if you're good at this, speed it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Love it, really nice. So since we've done some of our dribbling and some of our crossing over, I think it's time for us to actually practice as if we were going against a player. So at this time, we need 3 pairs of hopefully clean socks. All right, so we're gonna put cone number 1 here, cone number 2 here, and cone number 3 here. So right now we're imagining that these socks are cones, but also I want you to try and imagine that they are a person. All right, so here we are from here. We're gonna do our first crossover at our first person, and we're gonna go by them. Then we're gonna get to our second person. We're gonna cross over our second person and go by them. Here we are at our third person. We're gonna cross over them and go by them. And we'll do the same thing going back. All right, so it looks like this. Ready? Crossover, crossover, crossover. Okay, we're gonna do one fast one, down and back, maybe twice. Ready? Let's go. All right, we're going right by them. Boom, see you later. See you later. See you later. Woo! Well done, guys. Okay, super stuff today, everyone. And please, if you have any videos of you doing basketball skills, don't forget to send them in to rte.ie/learn. And remember, keep practicing these skills if you want to get better. Play is power. Slán.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi there, I'm Niamh. I am a scientist, and I'm absolutely obsessed about space. Hello there, I'm Niamh Shaw, and welcome to the Space Hub. Today we're going to be talking about 2 planets, Uranus and Neptune, 2 planets that couldn't be more different from Earth. We live in a region in our solar system known as the Goldilocks zone. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, it's just right. And as we venture farther out into the solar system and farther away from the sun, everything starts to get colder. And planets at the farthest edge of our solar system behave very differently to Earth, like Uranus and Neptune, the gas giants. And they're called the gas giants because apart from a small core of ice and rock, these planets are simply big balls of gas. Gases such as hydrogen, helium, and methane. And we know that even though they are made up mainly of gas, their gravitational forces are similar to Earth's. So if we were to jump on Neptune or Uranus, it would feel pretty much like this. And that's because they're extraordinarily huge. You could fit 57 Earths into the planet Neptune, but their mass is largely composed of gas, whereas our mass is largely composed of rock. And what else do we know about these strange planets? Well, we know that they have rings, but they're not as extensive as Saturn's beautiful rings. They have moons, well, more than we initially thought they have moons. We also know that they're unbelievably far away from us in our solar system. Let me show you. So let's start with the sun. Now, for handines's sake, the astronomers use this cool scale to determine how far away our planets are and how they're arranged around the sun. So the first thing is the distance between the Earth and the sun is given the number 1 astronomical unit, or 1 AU. So now let's see where Jupiter is on the scale. So it's 5 AU. Okay, that's a bit out. Then Saturn is 9 AU. Okay, that's twice the distance from Jupiter. Okay, and then Uranus is almost 20 AU. So that's doubling the line again. And Neptune is 30 AU. Oh wow, that is very far away. Neptune is so far away that it's very difficult to even see it in your telescope. And we know so little about these planets still because they are so far away. In fact, Neptune and Uranus are so remote and so far away from us here on Earth that only one spacecraft has ever visited them. And that's a very special mission called the Voyager mission. And the Voyager 2 mission launched in 1977. It headed out initially to look at Jupiter and Saturn along with its sister craft Voyager 1. And then once both craft had reached Jupiter and Saturn, they'd done their thing, the science team got together and they decided that maybe these two spacecraft could continue to explore our solar system and beyond. So they did. And on January 1986, 7 years since it launched, Voyager started to send back images of Uranus. For the very first time, we saw Uranus up close. And then onwards it went to Neptune. And 3 years later, on August 1989, 12 years since its first launch, Voyager started sending back images of Neptune. And onwards, Voyager 2 went farther and farther away, and it's still going 43 years later since its first launch. And it's currently in interstellar space. That's the region way beyond our solar system. Another lovely thing is that its sister spacecraft Voyager 1, that's also 43 years heading into interstellar space. But as it left our solar system on Valentine's Day 1990, one of the scientists got the spacecraft to turn around, turn its camera backwards facing the sun and take a picture of every single planet from that vantage point. And this was the picture of Earth. A teeny tiny dot, like a speck of dust. You needed to be told where it was. Amazing. Just in case they bump into any aliens along the way, both spacecraft have been equipped with a special message on a record called the Golden Record. But on the Golden Record on Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are different songs that they chose from different eras, sounds of people saying hello in the different languages of the world. There are images from around the world, and actually physically on the Golden Record itself, there are instructions of how to build a record player, so they can obviously play the record, and also directions of how to find us in space. So maybe if our Voyager 1 or 2 should happen to bump into anyone along the way to our nearest neighbouring stars, these beings will be able to play our own record of Earth. What would you put if you were sending a message out to space? What would you put on it? What images would you put? What paintings would you draw? What would you say? What would you write? Why don't you send us in your golden record?
Welcome welcome along to Martin Shed. Shedfest 2020 is tomorrow. And we have so much to prep before then. We're going to have tents outside with all the mad stuff we've been doing this week, including what to do with 12 million Brussels sprouts.
And don't forget the rock and roll, MC.
Oh, is that the thing where we just roll the rock?
Oh, can't wait for Shedfest.
And we're going to have our very own Shed TV, hosted by my all-time favourite daytime TV presenter.
You mean the shiny, the charismatic, the amazing Marty Whalen is going to be here in the shed?
No, Martin. Melvin Bing, the most famous pie, Martin, in the world.
Oh, no, not that Melvin Bing. Oh, I hate that Melvin Bing. He gives me a pain in me snow.
It's going to do a lot for us and for Shedfest.
No.
And besides, I have so much to do. I actually can't wait till he gets here. He might be able to help me with this stuff.
I've actually got a to-do list. Look, where?
Yeah, well, actually, Martin, I might get you to help me with some of this stuff because if I can't...
I've got this one here. That's my to-do list right there.
Arrange the thing.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got to arrange the thing. The explosive showstopper for Shedfest. Up on the main stage is the big climax to the festival, MC.
Good thing you're taking care of that. I'll just do all of this then, will I?
Oh, wait a second. Do you hear that? Oh,
Here?
That's that limousine outside.
I can hear him.
I'm going to sneak out the back.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking around to meet Melvin Bing. No way.
Yeah, it's yellow. Melvin!
Sounds absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Yes, well, we've got preparations underway.
Extra guacamole?
Well, I
Well, of course I want cheese.
Well, I can check the fridge.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, bye. Do you want
Sorry
me to
about that. I was just ordering a burrito on the old cheese pods.
Okay, no problem. Festival organisation is hungry work.
I'm not here to arrange your tedious little festival.
Well, not arrange. It's more of a consultation. You know, you might be able to offer some advice just on a purely consultation
I'll tell you
basis.
what I can do. I can give you your top 5 tips for having fun at a festival. Number 5. Festivals are very crowded, filled with sticky people. Close peg your nose to protect yourself from any nasty niffs.
You stay over there.
Number 4. Festivals are full of loud music. Keep your cheese pods in, and that way you can listen to your own selection of cheesy crooners.
This band is good. I'll take your word for it.
Number 3. At a festival, you may get hungry, so be sure to triple wrap your cheese, because a cheese unwrapped is like a bum that's been slapped.
Wrap with foil or cling film, your choice.
Number 2. Keep your tuxedo clean at a festival by wearing a spacesuit over it.
Can never not look sharp.
And number 1. Festivals are a fun idea, but if you're like me and there's no cheese, then I'd like to go home now, please.
Remember, fun. Thanks for listening.
Right, that's it. I'm done here. Now I'm going to go eat a burrito in my trailer, and after that I'm probably going to need a nap, but I'll see you later for whatever this thing is called.
Yeah, but we don't really have a trailer. It's more of like a tiny shed. I suppose you could call it a kennel. Are you okay, Melvin?
I just stood in something.
I'll go grab you a towel. We'll see you later.
When do you want me to eat a burrito in that thing?
Dírí bhórda agus fáilte róh go After School Hub is mise múnsar cléana. Today we are going to be trying to find our inner calm. It's very important to take a moment to be mindful every day, as I know there's a lot of uncertainty and worry around at the moment. So I'm going to show you a way of practicing mindfulness and calm. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a glitter jar. So this is a great tool for calming down, and it's really, really simple to build. So the idea with the glitter jar is we're going to fill it with water. You can use a bit of colour, a bit of glitter. I give it a shake and I let it settle. Because a lot of people say to you if you're worried, oh, stop thinking about it, don't worry about it. But actually, it's not super helpful a lot of the time. Sometimes it's easier for us to find something to focus our minds on. It's very difficult to empty your mind, but it's a lot easier to try to focus your mind. So, off we go. I'm going to start with my jar. So I have a nice jar here. And then I'm going to fill it with water. Now, You can feel free to use some food colouring, whatever your favourite colour is. I'm going to use a little bit of paint. And remember, if you're using paint, to use the teeny tiniest bit because it can really cloud up the water. So I'm literally just going to take the tiniest little dab and I'm going to pop it in here. You can see that it's a nice blue, and I love blue because it's actually such a calming colour. It makes you think of the sea and the sky and everything mellow. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glitter. So you can use chunky glitter, you can use tiny little pieces of glitter. Gorgeous. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on and give it a good shake to make sure that the glitter is dispersed throughout. Now, you can secure the lid with a bit of tape or something, but make sure that it's nice and well closed, otherwise the problem is it's going to end up all over you. So there we have it. Look at it swirling, swirling around. Now, I'm going to sit down and relax. So, I'm going to give my jar another little shake, and we're just looking at it. So our minds are full of thoughts swirling around like glitter in the jar. And sometimes we experience angry thoughts, sometimes sad thoughts. It's okay to have strong feelings, but we can calm those thoughts and our bodies as well. One way to do this is to let your thoughts settle like the glitter in the jar. When our minds are calm, it's easier to work out problems and to talk about whatever it is that's causing us to be upset. So what I want you to do is to give it a good shake and do nothing but watch the glitter as it settles. I'm watching it all become clear, watching it settle at the bottom. I can see that the jar is clear and I want to think that my mind is clear now, okay? So there you have it. We've made a beautiful mindfulness glitter jar and relaxed our minds. And when our minds are relaxed, it's easier for us to relax our bodies. Why not tell us what helps you to be calm? Slán!
Lots more to come right after this short break.
These are one of the more endangered animals that we have here in Dublin Zoo. There's only 150 of them left in the wild.
Welcome back to After School Hub.
If you miss anything here, remember you can catch up on everything on the RTÉ Player.
My name is Tyke. I made this picture of Mentor John. This is a spider. When it hears a loud thing, it will move like this. I made a little bat. Those are its eyes, and its little fangs, and its nose, and it has these wings. Bye, After School Hub!
Hi there everyone, how are things? Hope you had a great day at school. Now today I've got a very playful little engineering session for you, and it's all about levers and pulleys. So, what are levers and pulleys? Well, they both have one thing in common. They both use what's called a fulcrum. Now, all will be explained about the fulcrum as we go along. Now, let's find out what a lever and a pulley are by looking at some examples. First, an example of a lever that we all know. It's a seesaw. It's got a very sturdy bit in the middle, and then the two sides are able to lift, whoop, and then push back down again. Great. Now let's look at an example of a pulley. Have a look at this. That is a ski lift. The chairs are attached to the rope and the rope is pulling them up the mountain. So levers and pulleys are different, but they can be both used to lift. And that is what we're going to do right now. We're going to do a very simple activity with levers that you can do as well. And I have some scientific language for you as well. We've already had the first one. It's fulcrum. What I have here is a lever, I have a load, and in the middle I have a fulcrum. Now what I'm going to do is apply a downward force to this side, and what's going to happen, my load here, it's going to lift. So I have my lever, that's this ruler here, and I have my fulcrum. I'm going to pop it down here. Okay, there's my fulcrum and my lever. Now I just need a load that I'm going to put here. I'm going to use this pom-pom. Now, What do you think is going to happen when I apply a downward force to this side of the lever? Here we go. All right. Now, answer me this. Is it easier or harder to lift something using a lever? Now, when you're using a seesaw, is it as difficult as grabbing somebody's weight and just lifting them up and dropping them down again? No way. The lifting is made much easier, and it's the length of the lever that makes it easy. Okay, now, next on to pulleys. And I'm going to play with some building an imaginary construction site right here. Okay, imagine that I'm building a skyscraper and I need to load some of these blocks up onto this floor of the skyscraper. Okay, now what do I ask the person down the bottom to do? Do I say, hey, listen, can you just throw up those blocks there? Wait a second, that's way too heavy. You can't throw them up like that. Is he going to carry the blocks up the stairs? No, I need to engineer a system that we can lift these blocks with. So what I've done here is I've built a pulley. What I'm going to do is load the blocks into this bucket down here. Now, with this pulley, the fulcrum is right up here, this thread spool that I'm using up here. And I've attached this cup. All right, here we go. And I'm lifting them up. Ah, fantastic. Much easier to lift and very neat all together. Wait a second. They weren't the blocks I asked for. Send them back. My pulley is working great. And it's made just from a clothes hanger and a thread spool, so you can make it as well. I love my imaginary construction site. And it's not the only bit of imagination that I'm using today, because now I'm going to show you a machine that I invented. Have a look at this. This is a machine that I invented, and let's say it's used for making tennis balls. Now, have a look. I've got my start button, I've got all my gadgets over here, my dials and everything like that. But most importantly, I have 4 pulleys. What do I need to get these turning? Well, I'm going to use this elastic band as a belt. Now, first of all, I want to get the green pulley and the purple pulley turning clockwise. So what I'm going to do is just put the belt around it like this, and I start up my engine. Just by turning one pulley, it turns the belt, and both are turning the same direction, which is kind of similar to when you cycle a bike, when you turn the gear and the chain goes back and it turns the wheel in the same direction. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop my machine a second. To make tennis balls, I actually need the green pulley to turn clockwise, but I need the purple one to turn anti-clockwise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate the belt. I'm going to do a little number 8 shape like that. Notice the way the belt is crossing over. Now when I turn this clockwise, what direction do you think this one will turn? Let's have a go. Aha! It's working. Now, there are a huge amount of formations that we can make here. I have a larger belt here, and I'm going to get all 4 pulleys working in a clockwise direction. All 4 connected by the belt. Start up the engine. And all pulleys turning in the same direction. So, that's it. Today we learned about engineering with levers and pulleys. We learned about the fulcrum and how we can play and use everyday things using engineering and design. Mashiv, and hey, I'd love to see your creations of pulleys and levers.
Yeah, but I just don't know if he likes me.
Oh, don't tell me you're still banging on about that Melvin Bing.
Martin, it's because it's Melvin Bing.
Oh, hey, listen, we got a big to-do list to do here. Come on, we gotta get going. Next up is the cakes.
That's right, the cakes. If I make these cakes amazing, then Melvin's going to think they're amazing, then he's going to think that I'm amazing, and he's going to think that Chef is amazing, and it's just going to be amazing. Well, like the wizard said, we're going to be making a little bit of everything. So we're going to take mooncakes from the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, and then add a bit of the Whole Life Festival in India with our colour, and make our own version of mooncakes.
Oh, okay. First you need puffed rice.
Puffed rice. Okay. How much?
More than that.
Will I just throw the whole lot in, Martin?
Yeah.
Grand. What's next?
It says here pink.
Right, Martin. How much pink do I add?
3 spoons of pink.
3 spoons of pink. All right. What do we got next?
Purple.
I think you'll find if Melvin was here, he'd call that indigo, Martin. How much indigo?
2.
2. Just 2. I'm presuming you mean spoons, Martin, because I don't know how to measure colours.
Yellow.
Yellow. How much yellow?
Just pour some in. Hello.
Grant. All right.
And a pinch of green.
A pinch of green. Piece de la resistance. Alrighty. What's next?
Well, I think that's it. No, so you just add water.
All right. Splash. Alrighty. Is that everything?
I think your mooncakes are ready to go. Time to get mixing it up.
Let's get mixing.
Let's have a shake, right and roll. 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 Yeah, how's it looking as you turn it on out of that bowl? Oh, wait a second, MC. This isn't the recipe for mooncakes. This is the recipe for boom cakes.
Really, Martin? Really?
Where's that kid? I need her to get me a hit.
She's in here, Melvin.
Melvin can't see me like this. Stall.
Boom flavour. See you tomorrow for Shedfest. Whoa.
I love helping my dad down in the farm feeding the cows. Sometimes I like doing their hair. I love being down in the shed with the cows. This is Tom, that's Marshmallow, and that's Coral.
Hi, After School Hopes, and today I found a ruby tiger moth caterpillar. He's pretty fast and pretty cool. Bye, After School Hope.
Hi, my name's John from Dublin Zoo in the Discovery and Learning Department, and we're here at the bongo habitat. I'm going to introduce you to one of our more secretive animals in Dublin Zoo. They're very shy and they're very quiet, so we're going to need to be careful when we look at them. We don't want to scare them off. These are one of the more endangered animals that we have here in Dublin Zoo. There's only 150 of them left in the wild. They're from mountainous rainforest areas in Kenya in the continent of Africa. Now, bongo, like the ones behind me, they're browsers. That means that they eat leaves. They've even been observed eating trees that have been struck by lightning. That sounds like the most hardcore multivenom I've ever heard of. Eastern bongo are the biggest antelope in the world. Antelope are kind of your relatives of cows and goats. Bongo have those massive horns, and they use those for all kinds of things, like protecting themselves, impressing females, and even for rooting up food for themselves. Those horns are made out of keratin. Now, keratin is the same stuff that makes up your fingernails and your hair. When they're running through the trees, their horns could get caught in branches and twigs and things like that. So they have to be very careful. So what Nessie, our male behind us, will do is he'll lay his horns right back against his back, kind of like this, and he'll run through the forest. Now, one of my favorite things about the bongo is their color. They have that beautiful red with the white stripes. Those help with camouflage for 2 different reasons. First one is the red color. Their predators, the leopards, can't really see that red color. They can only see greens and blues. As well as that, those stripes. Those stripes are meant to blend in with all of the shadows and the light coming through the trees. And if you see there behind me, you can see that dappled light and how those stripes blend them in with their background. They have massive ears, and that's a great adaptation to help them hear predators coming through the forest. And you can see even the babies, when they're born, they have huge ears like radar dishes for picking up any noise that comes through the forest. Our next animal also has big ears for listening, the okapi, or the forest giraffe. Here we are at the okapi habitat. Behind me here is our youngest okapi, Zalia. Now you can tell her apart from her mother because she has a lovely mane going down the back of her neck that she'll lose as she gets older. Now the okapi, they're from the Ituri rainforest in Central Africa. And it wasn't until the 1900s that we in Western Europe discovered that they existed. Back then we thought that the natives were making them up like a unicorn. And later on we discovered some extra little materials from them and we thought maybe it's a new type of zebra. Much later on we found the skeletal remains, and from the skeleton we were able to discover that they were actually a relative of the giraffe. There's a few similarities that they have there. First one is their ossicones. Now the females of the okapi don't have those, but the males do. And they're little horn-like structures that come off the head. The difference between those and horns is that ossicones are made out of bone. When our little female, Delia, was first born, she would have been born with little bits of cartilage for ossicones, just like what our ears are made out of. And then as time goes on, those ossicones start to turn into bone, or ossify. That's where we get the name ossicone from. As they're eating there, you might see their big long tongue. That's about 30 centimeters long, just as long as my fake okapi tongue here. And they use those tongues to grab onto and pull leaves off the trees. And we call that prehensile, when you're able to move it around and wrap it around things. Now, just like the eastern bongo we saw before, the okapi are experts at camouflage. They have stripes just like the bongo for the same reason, but they also have that lovely dark body. And if you look at their head, it's quite pale as well. And that's to bring in even more types of camouflage. Now, what they do is they break up their outline, their silhouette, by having different types of camouflage in different places. So that black body, that's to help them blend in with the shadows coming over the trees. And that light head is to blend in with any dappled sunlight being able to come through. So they have those stripes, like a zebra's, like a bongo. They have that dark body, and they have that pale head. And they combine them all together to become a master of camouflage. Thanks for joining us here in the rainforest, where we met our okapi and the eastern bongo. If you want to learn more, you can go to rte.ie/learn. See you next time.
Now it's time to dance. Get your shoes on.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on.
Hello, fád, gur a míle maithagad.
Catch us Monday to Friday, 3:20 to 4:20 on RTE2. Join us and join in.